All right. So you want to tell me a little bit about the new record, Symphonies of Dirt and Dust?
Absolutely. Are we rolling now?
We're rolling.
Oh, okay. Well, I had a song in a film called August Rush a few years back in 2008, and the producer of that film was working on a new film. So he called and said, "Chris, I'm working on a little film." He said, "Little film?" And he said, "I'd like a couple songs for it, if you wouldn't mind trying to write a few things for it." Because my song did well for August Rush. It was a best-selling song off that soundtrack. So he said, "A little film." I said, "Who's starring in it?" And he said, "Pierce Brosnan, Selma Hayek, and Jessica Alba." So I figured little is a relative term, kind of. It's
in Hollywood.
So, yeah.
Right, yeah.
So it turns out it's a relatively, not huge budget film, but with a very, very big cast. So that film is called Some Kind of Beautiful. And that came out, so basically he kept asking me to write songs for different scenes. And so he would send me scenes, he'd send me the script, and I just started writing songs almost as an exercise. So this record has 2 songs from that film, and then a few things I wrote for also. Then I kind of rounded it off with songs I was writing anyways, just for my own purposes. So it's a mixture. So it basically started off with just kind of requesting, songs from Hollywood.
Have you had to write like that on command before in your life?
Yeah, I've had to do it for a few things. You wrote a song for a sitcom a few years back, Pepper Dennis. He was Rebecca Romaine's sitcom. That the writers of it asked me to write the theme song for it, so I wrote that. And so that was an exercise, a real kind of craft. So I was thinking the Friends theme song, in case I could actually, if the show got that big, I could retire.
Yeah.
So I was thinking, because I met the guy who wrote that Friends theme song, and he said to me, "Chris, I'll never have to work another day in my life."
How about that?
And I said, "Rub it in, and then also tell me how you got that gig." Let me learn.
But your stuff has been in film before, like going back to There's Something About Mary, right? The Farrelly brothers, who are from up around the Boston area, Rhode Island, right?
From the Boston area, yeah. Yeah, so the Farrelly brothers used, I think, 3 of my songs in different films.
Right, including didn't you cover Steely Dan?
Yes. Yeah. Yes, me, myself, and Irene, we had a song on that.
Right, the Push Stars did, yeah. Well, the whatever the impetus for the songwriting, it's great as usual.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, and it's always such a pleasure to get a new record from Chris Trapper, and it's always a pleasure to have you here and play us a song, and so would you do that?
I'll play a song off this new record, and it's a song called Not the End of the World. It was inspired kind of by my high school prom date in 12th grade, who I've recently become friends with. It's not all about her, but a couple lines are inspired by her. Yeah, I wanted to be good, not great, just good. Wanted to make them proud in the old neighborhood. I could never score a touchdown, never kick a ball, but I could play guitar for days. We would sneak out of our houses to stand by the sea, talk for hours about what we would be. You were gonna be an actress and move to LA. It was me who had to stay. There's a picture of a girl who wanted more, though you never know what's waiting at the door. Reminds me of a face that I adored, saying it's not the end of the world. So then you got a bit part on TV. You would call home feeling all sorry for me, 'cause I was pumping gas for the upper class where the winter never ends. But all your big connections dried up quick. You had to move home 'cause your mom got sick. They gave her 18 months till your world collapsed. It was all gone in a flash. There's a picture of a girl who wanted more, though you never know what's waiting at the door. Reminds me of a face that I adored, saying it's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world. It's not the end of. Well, I wish I could say that we fell in love, but I moved away. She got hooked on drugs. When she finally got clean, she was blessed with the child. It was the first time that she smiled. And sometimes when I go and play a show at home, I'll stand in the back watching all alone. We'll grab a quick drink, I will walk her to her car and say how fortunate we are. There's a picture of a girl who wanted more, though you never know what's waiting at the door. Reminds me of a face that I adored, saying it's not the end of the world. 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 It's not the end of the world.
Chris Trapper, Radio Woodstock 100.1. It's Not the End of the World, one of the fine new tunes on the new album called Symphonies of Dirt and Dust. Man, you are on the road sometimes for a long while.
Yes.
And I noticed this because you have a really nice active social media presence.
Yes, I try to. Yeah. Well, it's the only way I can really kind of sell my shows at this point, because I'm in that kind of awkward phase where I'm not big enough to have lots of corporate promo stuff behind me. So social media has become a really good way to work from the inside out,
Mm-hmm.
where I can really get to know my fans, and I can get to kind of know where they live and where they want me to play, and what clubs work and what clubs don't work for what I do. So social media has been a very key factor for me.
Yeah. The Push Stars were on the periphery of big time stardom a few times, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. It seems like that.
I'm always waiting for that. It's kind of like the next day I'm thinking I'll get that magic call.
Yeah.
But what I've gotten is more of a series of little breaks that have kind of given me a lifestyle.
Yeah, and that's what I was leading to, is that you're a working musician.
A good career, yeah.
Yeah. And it certainly beats working at 7-Eleven. No aspersions to anyone who works at 7-Eleven.
Actually, I just applied there a few hours ago. Thanks for saying.
Free coffee, man.
Yeah, exactly.
An important element for those car rides.
No, I've been very lucky, though, because I'm doing it now, you're full-time for maybe 17 years.
Yeah.
And I can't believe it. It's still, you still flips me out. I just think that when will I wake up from it? But it can be hard, all the traveling and airports and rental cars and all this stuff. But the show is what always makes it worth it, because that 1 hour and a half is like the most beautiful experience you can have. You see that your work is actually affecting people, and they care about it. And it's not just clapping, but you get comments after shows that they use my song for a funeral or a first dance at a couple's wedding, which is a very, very nice thing, as long as the couple's a good couple, and it's a good thing. So, yeah.
And I know you do some house concerts, too, because a friend of mine saw you sometime in the past 6 months. You were in the area, and you did a house concert, and he sent me a message and said, do you know this guy? Do you know his music? And I said, yeah, a little bit. And he said, what an extraordinary performance. And what he was really struck by was your generosity of spirit in that performance space.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
It's probably the alcohol, honestly. Your house concerts, you become a real kind of way to have a career in a good kind of in towns where you might be weaker, where you can't fill a club. You can actually fill a house, and then fill clubs later on, because all the people at the house concerts kind of will go see you at clubs.
Yeah.
So I'd say I do maybe about 10 house concerts a year. Like in San Diego, I did a club show a few years ago where I drew maybe 18 people. And one of the persons there said, "We'll book you for a house concert." then I played another house concert. The next time I went back and did a club, I drew 100 people. So it's all kind of word of mouth and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, no, that's great.
Media.
Yeah, and that's good because that's the analog version of social media. It's right, word to word to word.
Absolutely,
right?
yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
I also like on speaking of social media, you got a lot of time to think out there and no one to tell it to.
Absolutely.
So
yes.
you have these great wry observances of the great American world out there.
Right.
And that's kind of fun to see.
Well, I kind of write stuff down as I go, thinking that I'll need content, and then when I'm off the road, I'll kind of shut it down and stop doing it for a couple months. But I'm always looking for something to post about. But I think that's kind of become what everybody does now.
Yeah.
Everybody looks for something interesting to post about, or that really cool picture of their kid graduating 3rd grade, or so I think that it's just a good way to kind of stay with people through their lives. And
it's become Facebook and other social media have become everyone's own reality show.
Absolutely, yeah. Well put. Very well put.
Chris Trapper in the studio with us this morning. His new record is called Symphonies of Dirt and Dust. You want to play us another?
Yeah, I'll play the title track called Symphonies of Dirt and Dust. Early in the morning, when I wake up, I go walking from my bedroom to the stairs, down to the stove. And the smoke from last night stayed just like I thought it might. I guess it just had nowhere else to go. Half my time has been spent with what she does or where she went, or what I said wrong. I asked my friends, but they don't know. Whoa. The thought that Sunday morning I could just stop thinking is a thought that I stopped thinking long ago. Gather all the bottles, rinse the lipstick off the cocktail glasses, ashes and confetti on the floor. Sweep them under the rug in symphonies of dirt and dust, till I stumble by your sweater on the door. Hold it up to the light and smell your perfume from last night, till my fingers start to figure what I lost. I thought that Sunday morning would be more forgiving, but I paid my dues and never knew the cost. The echoes of the party, and now the morning's barely started, and last night's like a century ago. But the song always stays in your head, around it plays like it started on a stolen radio. But I still shed no tears. In fact, it's better you're not here, 'cause you never wanna see me in this state. As soon as I remember all the reasons I love you, is as soon as I remember it's too late. As soon as I remember all the reasons I love you, is as soon as I remember it's too late.
Chris Trapper, Radio Woodstock 100.1. That's the title track of the new record called Symphonies of Dirt and Dust. Now, here I'm going to make a proposition.
Okay.
So next time you're through, I know you have kids, so you're used to getting up early.
Absolutely. Yes.
I want you to, if you can, sit in for a couple hours on the show, and we'll play, throughout the show, we'll play like maybe 8 songs. Not in a row, but at various times during the show.
That'd be cool.
Maybe over the course of 2 hours.
Yeah.
You play a different song and just sort of be a musical co-host.
That'd be awesome. I could do a career retrospective.
There you go.
In some way.
All right.
Like a living box set.
I love it. It's awesome.
Yeah.
And so next time through, let's try and work that out.
Cool, man. That'd be awesome.
All right, Chris Trapper. Happy holidays.
Thanks, Jimmy.